today's video, we're going to compare the similarities and the differences between two mountain towns here in southern Utah to help you decide which one is right for you. All right, let's get to it. If this is your first time to this channel, we talk about everything there is to know about living in Cedar City, Utah and the surrounding areas. My name is Elizabeth Prisbrey. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group. If you are looking to buy, sell, or invest here in southern Utah, I would love to help you out with that. You can find my information up here in the corner or down below in the description. Please don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so I have had several clients reach out looking to buy a second home or a vacation home in either Brian Head or Duck Creek here in southern Utah. Some of them reach out thinking one town, but as we dive into what they're really looking for and what they need and want in a vacation home, they actually end up choosing a different town. Now, both towns are wonderful. They are mountain towns and they are not that far apart from one another. However, they do have some different features that you might find are better suited for you, depending on which one you choose. So we will take a look at some of the similarities, but I want to focus on the differences and why you might want to choose Brian Head over Duck Creek or Duck Creek over Brian Head. Now, as I said, they are not that far apart from one another, but in case you have not heard of Brian Head or Duck Creek, I thought I'd show you where they are in the country on a map. So as you can see, I have the state of Utah pulled up here on the map. They are both located in the southwest corner of Utah. You can't see them quite yet here on the map because they are not one of the major cities going up the I-15 in Utah. However, you'll notice as we get closer, we've got Cedar City down here in the left-hand corner. Right here, we have Brian Head, Utah, and then right over here, a little bit more east, we have Duck Creek Village. Now, Cedar City is going to be your closest larger town. When I say larger, I'm more talking about a town where you can go in, get a full-size grocery store, whether it's Smith's, Albertsons, Lynn's. There is a Walmart in Cedar City. So if you needed to shop before you head up to Brian Head or Duck Creek, Cedar City is where you are going to do that. Now, Cedar City does have an airport, so you could fly into Cedar City. However, that airport is only going to fly in from Salt Lake City. So if you're not coming from Salt Lake, you are going to have a connecting flight there. There is also an airport a little bit further south on the I-15 down in St. George, Utah. Again, it's smaller. You will likely have a connecting flight somewhere else. If you are looking at Brian Head or Duck Creek for a second home or a vacation home and you need to fly in, you're likely going to fly into Las Vegas or Salt Lake City. Now, as far as distance from Las Vegas to either Brian Head or Duck Creek, you're looking at about 3 hours, maybe 3 hours and 15 minutes. If you are coming down from the Salt Lake airport, it's going to take you about 3.5 hours to get to Brian Head and about 4 hours to get to Duck Creek. Now, let me tell you why that is. For both locations coming from Las Vegas, you're going to go through Cedar City to get to them. However, if you are coming north from Salt Lake, you will not hit Cedar City and you will go through the town of Parowan to head up the 143 to hit Brian Head. Now, both places are about the same distance from Cedar City, Utah. You're going to expect about a 40 to 45 minute drive if you are heading up from Cedar City. So for example, if we want to go to Brian Head, we're going to take the I-15 north to the Parowan exit. We'll head down through the town of Parowan, and then we'll take the 143 up to Brian Head. That's going to be about a 40 to 45 minute drive. However, if we are going to Duck Creek from Cedar City, you're going to take that center street in Cedar City and you're going to take that up the 14 all the way up until you get up to Duck Creek Village. So you can see kind of where they are located here. Again, up to Duck Creek, that's going to be about a 40 to 45 minute drive. So that's kind of a similarity there as far as where they are located. Now, the good thing is whether you choose Brian Head or you choose Duck Creek, you can get from Duck Creek to Brian Head and Brian Head to Duck Creek without going back down through Cedar City. You can actually go back along this path and take the 148 over to Brian Head, or you can come around this way and take the 143 back down into Brian Head. Now, this is important. This one over here is going to be about a 35-minute drive, and I apologize for my writing. I'm doing this with a mouse. And then if you go this other way, that's going to add about 5 minutes to that. So you're looking closer to a 40-minute drive. Now, the reason why somebody might go around the 143 is in the winter time, they're actually going to shut off the 148 to Brian Head. So the only way to go around is this way on the 143. But again, it only adds an extra 5 minutes. All right, I know my drawing got a little bit messy there, but thank you for sticking with me. I just wanted you to see how close they are in proximity to one another and why there might be so many similarities as well as differences. Now you can see they're both up on the mountains. They are mountain towns. That's why we are comparing them. So they're going to have a lot of similarities as far as temperatures, beautiful mountain sceneries with the pine trees. There's going to be Quakies at both locations. You're going to get snow in the winter. You're going to have more mild, cool summers. So there are a lot of similarities there. However, there are big differences that might affect whether or not you want a vacation home there. So let me describe these towns a little bit. Brian Head is a ski resort town. It is more condensed. When you go through the 143 highway in Brian Head, you are going to get a lot more condos, townhomes, more like apartment buildings that are right through the main part of town. The reason why is it's a ski town. People come in to ski. Now, of course, there are cabins in Brian Head mixed amongst the trees, and people love it there, and they can have ski in, ski out cabins. Duck Creek, on the other hand, it's more spread out. You're not going to see a lot of condos or townhomes or multi-unit properties up there. Most of it is going to be cabins scattered amongst the trees. You will see the one strip mall off the 14 that's considered Duck Creek Village, but it is very spread out. This is a huge difference between the two towns. So the two offer very different features in that sense. One of the biggest differences that people notice when going to either Brian Head or to Duck Creek is the drive up. Remember, with Brian Head, we went through Parowan, then we went up the 143. You're actually in the canyon driving for maybe about 20 minutes of your drive. When you are going up to Brian Head, you are going to have a steep hairpin turn just before you get to the top of the mountain. Also, when you're heading up to Brian Head, there is a section of the mountain that has been burned off from a wildfire. So it's not that beautiful going through that section. It's really kind of sad. It's still more beautiful than, say, driving through a desert. You still have the canyons around you, but you're not in it for that long. It's more of a steep incline up the mountain. However, with Duck Creek, you're going up the 14. Most of that 40 to 45 minute drive up to Duck Creek Village is going to be through the canyon. You're going to see lava rock. You're going to see Quakies. You're going to go through what appears to be a large slot canyon. It really is just a stunning drive up to Duck Creek. You're going to pass a meadow. In the summer, it's beautiful. You might see sheep going through there, or in the winter, it will be blanketed with snow and you'll see snowmobilers going through. There's parts to pull off on your way up to Duck Creek where you can go sledding. It really is just a much more pleasant drive as far as the scenery goes, and there's things you can do on the way up. Also, on your drive to Duck Creek, you're going to pass over a beautiful overlook of a canyon, as well as pass by Navajo Lake. So beautiful, great opportunities to get out, sightsee, take pictures, just a really beautiful scenic drive as you are going up to Duck Creek Village. Now, I know it sounds like I'm favoring Duck Creek here, but this is a big difference. And I think that if you drive to both places, you'll see it and you'll be glad that I pointed it out. Now, when we think about Brian Head being a ski resort town and we wonder, okay, if I ski, why would I want to have my second home in Duck Creek? There's actually a lot of people that ski and snowboard, but found that they wanted to be in Duck Creek because of the other features that Duck Creek offers. Remember, I talked about that drive and I talked about the meadow and how beautiful it is up there. Well, in Duck Creek, it is a lot easier to access snowmobile riding, trail riding in the summer for those off-road vehicles. You can leave right from your cabin in Duck Creek to actually go out and enjoy those outdoor activities. Again, people choose to vacation at either place because they like the outdoor recreational activities. They love the fresh mountain air, the beautiful pine trees, and Quakies. Both places are going to offer most of these recreational activities, with Brian Head, of course, offering the skiing, snowboarding, those type of activities. However, they're both also going to offer fishing. There is a small man-made little pond in Brian Head that you can fish at. If you're an avid fisher and you want more of those natural lakes, then of course you're going to want to be over near Duck Creek. You've got Navajo Lake as well as some other lakes up there. Panguitch Lake is in between the two of them. Again, it really doesn't matter which one you're at, you are going to have access to most of this stuff within a short drive. Also in Bryan Head, they have a community park, which is great. It has a pavilion, a playground, there's places to barbecue and picnic there. That is right next to that man-made lake where you can actually walk out on the dock and fish from there. So Bryan Head has more of that small town community, whereas Duck Creek is more spread out and you don't have access to those things. Unless, of course, you put it on your own property. Now, both places have a small population as far as people that live there year-round. And both places still have a few small restaurants or places that you can eat at, as well as sports stores where you can rent items from. Another difference is Duck Creek has a place where you can actually rent horses, do trail rides while you're up there, so that's a big difference. Remember, we talked about how Bryan Head was laid out and how right through the 143, you have a lot more condo complexes and apartment complexes and townhome complexes, whereas you don't have that in Duck Creek. This actually affects the price of housing. And so this is another indicator of why somebody might choose Duck Creek over Bryan Head if they are an avid skier, or why they might choose Bryan Head over Duck Creek. So currently in the last year, the median sales price in Bryan Head has been about $212,000, whereas in Duck Creek, the median sales price is around $377,000. Now I dove into this deeper because I thought, that's interesting. Well, those townhomes, condos, apartments, those come into play. These condos, townhomes, you're looking at under 1,000 square feet on some of these with 1 to 2 bedrooms. And some of them have been built back in the 1970s. And so when you have an influx of these type of properties, of course, it is going to take up the bottom half of that median. However, if we take a look at the highest price point and we compare those with Bryan Head and Duck Creek, those are going to be very similar for similar size cabins. Both of them have cabins up into the millions. It just depends on what you're looking for up there. If you're looking for something on the lower end and you would rather be in Bryan Head so that you can ski, there are condos that you can go in. You can get a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, or a loft and pay on the lower end there. All right, so just a quick recap. If you are looking for a beautiful drive up, then Duck Creek has the better drive up. If you are looking to ski and that is your main sport and why you want this, then Bryan Head is where you want to go. However, if you can't find what you want in Bryan Head because the housing there is a little bit different, you can go over to Duck Creek, have a little bit more privacy, have easier access to the trails when you're not skiing and you are snowmobiling or riding your ATVs or whatever it is that you ride. You can still get over to Bryan Head within about a 40-minute drive. All right, so that was brief, not extreme differences, but differences that might affect what you want. If you want to dive into one of these towns a little bit deeper, I would love it if you would reach out. Once again, my name is Elizabeth Prisbrey. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group. I promise you I will respond. All right, until next time, have a wonderful day.